Yeah, we're back with South Africa football, and with me to discuss this evening is Mustafa Jinadu.
Oh, welcome. I was waiting for you to say something fancy. Well, anyway, I paused for a second. I was like, waiting to say the great Mustafa Gennaro, the great excellent this and that. Anyway, let's get straight to the story today. So we're looking at Amajita that's qualified for the World Cup, and we're looking at their squad. Now we know that they're the African champions, and most likely have the best shot of getting through to the next round, along with Nigeria. But I'm not so sure because we have what who's in South Africa's group? France. That's a tough team. France and
Oh,
U.S.
yeah, I think it's France
Let's
and
take a
UK.
squad. Call them out. You're better at pronouncing these names than I am. I'll start with the first name. It's very easy.
Yeah,
Uh,
Fletcher Smith
Fletcher
Lowe.
Fletcher Smith Lowe. Uh, yeah, he's in Portugal. Fantastic goalkeeper. Takalani Mazamba, Kaiser Chiefs. You take over from there.
Yeah. Goleng
Just say the
Ratisani,
last name. Ratiani,
Goleng
Timba, Tiwani.
Ratisani, Sifo
Yeah,
Timber, and Asheko Tiwani. That Asheko Tiwani was really very instrumental, a very good attacking player during the under 20 tournament that they won. So he's one of the players
yeah,
to look out for South Africa, as well as the center back that really stood out, Tylon Smith.
yeah. Oh, also, watch out for Vilakazi from Kaiser Chiefs. Very, very
Oh
good player.
yeah,
Vilakazi.
Mfondo Vilakasi. Yeah, Mfondo Vilakasi. Yeah.
So he's very, very good. And but I think Fletcher Lowe and Tyler Smith were the stars of the last.
They were the standout
Uh,
player,
the,
and yeah, they were the standout players.
yeah. And when you look at this team, okay, so it's very good. And I think Bartman, Luke Bartman. I'm not sure who he plays for. Or he Kaiser Chiefs. He's
Kaiser
also good. I
Chiefs.
think he's
Yeah.
a forward. Maybe I'm wrong, but I remember hearing he's a forward. But the key with this team is defense. Their
Yeah.
defense is very solid.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they even gave up any goals in the under 20, and they beat
Very
Nigeria in an
few.
epic match in semifinals, 1-0
They gave
with
up
Tyler Smith scoring.
very few goals.
Yeah,
Very few goals.
and
Yeah.
Tyler Smith is a central defender, but he makes runs, he comes forward, and on set pieces he's very dangerous because he's tall. Okay, what stands out to you from that squad?
Yeah, basically they have a lot of standout players actually. There's this guy, he's also a center back, Siviwe Nkwali, very reliable.
Yeah,
He's the partner to Smith, and they have attacking players like Let Haku. He has creative spark. He links the midfield to the attack, and there's also the goalkeeper too. Is part of the defense. He's a very formidable last line of defense. That's Fletcher Lowe. And of course, the
yeah,
right back to Aseko Tiwani defends solidly too. I
yeah.
think this team was just based on defensive solidity, defensive solidity.
Yeah.
And
And they had two midfielders who made.
that
Sorry,
Mila,
go ahead, go ahead.
that Vilakazi that you said is actually their CDM. Very, very
Oh,
strong
see them. I made a
player. Breaks up play and distributes the ball well. Vilakazi is their CDM.
And I also noticed that in the midfield they had the guys who made the tournament's best 11, Neo Rapu and Lazola Maku. So those guys are in the midfield. So they've got a solid midfield. Then like you said, the central defenders are good. Then the central defensive midfielder. So this is a team that's built with a spine. It has a fantastic spine. They've got
Yes.
the back four fantastic. CDM very good. They've got two good midfielders. They don't score a lot, and we know that's generally a problem with South Africa across the board.
Yeah,
Is they
sure,
don't really have
sure. Even
high
in the
scoring,
Bafana.
very defensive. Now it's going to be interesting to see how they play because their first game is against France. A lot of guys on our show, we want to say shout out to South Africa because most of our fans are South African. They are convinced that they can whoop France. I'm not too sure about that. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But I will say that if South Africa plays France, it's going to be a test of defense versus a very dynamic attack. France has
Yeah,
attack. They have
yes.
very good midfield. I believe France definitely has a better midfield than South Africa. Yeah, a lot of these guys that are playing for France play in the first division in the top teams in France, and France tends to build very good creative midfielders.
Yes, they have very good
Very good
technical players. Very good
wingers.
technical
So if
players.
South
Yeah.
Africa plays them in the first game, their defense is solid. But the
Yeah.
question is, if they try to open up at all, they're going to be liable to the press and counterattacks, which will start in the midfield. most of the counterattacks that you'll see France give against them will start in the midfield
Midfield,
because,
yeah.
and with France, the transition is very swift. Once the French team gets the ball in the midfield and their wingers go, it's very dangerous. But it's going to be very difficult to predict. We're going to have to go home and do our homework and try to give a close prediction by looking at the players who will be playing. But this is a solid team, and I think their real challenge is going to be to see, because let's say South Africa draws with France or lose, the big challenge would be them playing a very dynamic USA team.
Yeah,
USA is not as good as France, but they play a sort of dynamic ball in which they're also going to try to stretch out your defense and attack you from the wings. So South Africa's fullbacks are going to be tested. But Tylan Smith is the best fullback in Africa for under 20s right now.
sure,
He's the best.
sure,
So
sure.
he's up to the task. I don't know who's going to play. Does Tylan Smith play on the left?
The guy is very versatile. He plays as center back as
Plays on
well,
the left. Yeah,
but predominantly
yeah.
on the
So
left.
oh no, he's on the no. Tyler Smith is a central defensive. No, so whoever's on the flanks for whoever the fullbacks are going to be tested by
This
USA and by
Gopulang,
France.
Gopulang is the left back, and Tiwani is
Yeah,
the right back.
yeah. So Tyler Smith is going to definitely be an asset for them um when or the defensive side with corner kicks and stuff because he's tall. So he's a very good defender. My only worry is that the US and France will have like some. It's almost like men because the South African under 20 they're like boys. But some of
Yeah,
these
sure.
guys who play for these guys have been playing in Europe. They've beefed up lifting weights, so they'll be very physical. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what happens. But definitely, I see South Africa tending towards a lot of draws with the way their team is set up.
set up.
So what they have to hope for is to not give up any goals against France. U.S. That's going to be interesting because the U.S. is very good on transition and with their wings, but they have a sort of they're weak in defense. So South Africa is going to have to exploit any defensive weaknesses by figuring out a way to break down on the transition and also to finish. We know that that's the problem with South African football is creating goals and finishing. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They create chances, but converting the chances is the problem. I think they're going to mix it up because they know that a team like France, they have technical players who can keep the ball and play short passes in tight spaces. I think South Africa would defend and try and counter the France team. Most of the time, they'll be sending long balls directly to the attack instead of trying to play through the French midfield. That
With
might
South
be,
Africa, what
yes, South
do
Africa.
but you know South Africa like to keep the ball on the ground. But the problem with trying to keep the ball on the ground against a team like France, these guys they don't press as much as Spain,
No,
but
they
they
don't.
press
They don't. But they can
they
keep
press in
possession for a long time.
and they have very good CDMs and stuff. So
Yes,
they're
and
going
they
to
have
have
very good
Mike.
CDM.
I'm just going to say that France will have better possession than South Africa.
Yeah,
So that ground game of theirs is going to be. They're going to have a tactic in which
yeah. That's why I
they
say
get their.
South Africa will want to bypass the midfield by sending long balls directly to the attackers or the wingers.
Yeah, but you know, they'll tell you we don't play that way. We don't play that way. Okay, we don't play that way. The only other hope they have then is to set up to set up traps and
Yeah,
then counter
sure,
defensive traps.
sure.
That's another alternate because also if you do that long ball, if you don't have big guys that are yeah, but
That can
I see what
hold
you're
it
saying. They
up.
have
They
to,
can hold it up.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. Or unless they can put very timely passes and their wings can come, very well timed passes, like you said. But they definitely have to try to avoid too much play in the midfield.
In the
Yeah.
midfield, yes.
All right. Yeah, so we're going to be back to give a deeper analysis of France versus South Africa. We're going to do that probably 2 days after this video post. What are your last thoughts of Falabi?
Yeah, so basically, I think South Africa has a very good chance. The spine and the foundation of every good team is the defense, and they certainly have it. And they have a dependable goalkeeper, but uh, they will need a bit of more creativity and imagination to score and create chances and then to put them away. So I think they have a good chance as African champions, to represent Africa and do well.
Yeah, let's talk about that because they have to play France and US. So they have to beat one of those two teams to qualify.
Sure, sure, sure.
I think their best shot is against the US.
The US, yeah. Yeah. France
Yeah.
usually at this level are very, very strong.
No. France. Well, is this guy even under 20? I know he's not playing Bakola. France is just producing
No,
some
no,
crazy boys,
Bakola,
man.
Bakola is not playing. I think he
He's
played the
22.
last four.
20. No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I know he's not playing. I'm just wondering if how old is he? Is he 21, 22?
He's 23, I think.
But how old is Olise? Olise doesn't play. He plays for France, but he's a senior team. The point I'm making is that guys like Olise and Bakola, when they were 20,
Yeah.
under 20 was too small for them. It was too
Yeah,
small. You
sure.
understand what I'm saying?
Sure, I
Yeah.
understand.
So what I'm saying is that France is producing under 20 guys
Yes.
who who are starting for PSG, those types of
Yes. It's
teams.
just like Spain too. They have a very good
Now
football
look at
academy.
Mbappe. Mbappe wasn't playing under 20 when he was 17, 18. So
Yeah.
that just goes to show you how much talent
They
France.
have. They have. I think after Spain in Europe, it's France in terms of talent pool
Now, you know what I would argue with you? I think France actually has more talent than Spain, but Spain has a better system.
system. Okay.
So in other words, I think that. So this is what I think. I think that in Spain, if you look at the gene pool, France has all these millions of people from Ivory Coast and Cote d'Ivoire, all these black boys that are fast and stuff. If those guys grew up in Spain under the training that the Spanish people get, they'd be unstoppable. Look at Tony.
Of
Look at
course.
Williams on the left,
Of
and look
course.
at perfect example. Look at Rashford. Rashford scored no goals for Man U. Champions League, he scores 2 goals for Barcelona. So it
Yeah.
goes to show you that I think the difference between Spain and France is that in the Spanish team, people play total football. Look at Pedri. Someone said it because I'll let you go, so I know you got to go. But they said that Pedri, when you pass the ball to him, he already knows what he's going to do before you pass it to him. So
Yeah.
that's why
It reminds
he
me of
only needs one
Xavi.
touch.
It reminds
Yeah,
me of
well,
Xavi.
or Busquets. He only needs one touch. So I'm
Yeah.
saying that the Spanish people, they have talent, but I think what it is
I
that
think
they
they're
nurture
better
their talent.
coached. They're better coached.
Yeah,
Tactically, they're
they nurture
superior
their
to
talent.
French.
Yeah, imagine Mbappe had grown up in the Spanish system. Who knows, man? The guy can't even dribble. The guy's he needs to look.
He just
Let me
runs with the
not talk
ball.
about
He just runs with the ball.
Mbappe. Have you noticed that 70% of his goals are from penalties?
Yeah, I noticed.
How can you call him if you call him Mbappe? Let me ask you the last question. If you call him Mbappe a, a number 9, then what will you call Lewandowski? God, you know what I'm saying? Look at the
No,
skill set of Lewandowski
of course.
compared to the skill set of
I'm not in the school of thought that Mbappe is a number nine. I've never seen him as a number nine. Oh.
yeah. They call this guy the best, and
Yeah,
also they call him the best striker. Because I don't even think he's the best striker. You
yeah,
know, who would you say is the best striker? And what I mean by striker is either a winger or a number 9. People who score goals. Who would you say is the best? I would say this best striker might be this guy on the right for Barcelona, or even the guy on the left. Would you say
Yamal.
that
You mean Yamal?
Yamal or maybe
Rafinha.
the other guy
Rafinha.
Rafinha? Yeah, because striker goes beyond just number 9. You get my point.
Yeah, sure, sure,
It
sure.
used to be, what happened to Vinicius? That boy is rubbish now.
I don't know what happened to that guy. The guy's lost form drastically.
All right, let's get out of here. I feel like so
Okay,
tomorrow we'll do the post Man City Arsenal. Yeah.
okay, okay.
Check us out.
All right, it's been another brilliant show. We've been discussing the prospects of the South African under 20 team at the World Cup. And we believe and have faith that having done so well in Africa, they will be good ambassadors of Africa at the World Cup. And from Mustafa and myself, we'll be back again probably on Monday evening.
Yes.